Hello friends, today we are going to learn about wireless sensor networks, and first we will see what is wireless ad hoc networks. So wireless ad hoc network is basically a collection of devices with communication and networking capabilities. They can be formed anywhere and anytime provided the devices are equipped, so they do not require any infrastructure. And these wireless ad hoc networks are usually used where no infrastructure can be built or in places which are inaccessible. So, wireless sensor network is basically a kind of wireless ad hoc network, and it comprises of sensors deployed randomly or strategically and a base station. And sensors are small devices which are used to collect data or sense the environment, so that the data can be used for certain scientific purposes or for research. And sometimes these sensors are really small, like sometimes they can be of the size of dust. This makes wireless sensor network a very desirable um, kind of a network to be used where people cannot reach, or where the places are inaccessible, or maybe in a war situation. So, wireless sensor networks are formed using multiple sensors, and each of these sensors consists of a sensing unit with which they sense their environment, and they can sense any kind of environmental circumstances such as temperature or light, and they also have a low power transceiver, and this transceiver is used to either send the data that they have sensed, or to collect the data that somebody else or other sensor is sending. And they also have a battery, because they don't have any infrastructure, so they are not connected to any other power supply. Hence it is very essential that they have a battery, and once the battery dries out, these sensors are basically uh, without any use, they are useless. And they also have a processing unit. Here they process the data that they have collected, and maybe they convert the temperature that they are sensing, they convert it into data. And they also have a data storage device where they store the data unless until they send it to somebody else, or if some other sensors are sending data, then they store it in these storage devices. They are very capable of sensing and message reception and transmission and aggregation. Aggregation is basically combining multiple messages into one message. And the BS, that is the base station, uh, it is usually externally powered, and it is usually far away from the sensor field, or it can be within the sensor field also. And some of the applications are in military, water quality monitoring, surveillance, healthcare, etc. And some of the challenges of wireless sensor networks are self management, since nobody is managing them and there is no infrastructure which is controlling them. So, self management is one of the challenges. And also wireless networking, because they are communicating not on wired channel but on wireless channel, so sometimes glitches can take place. Also coverage, most of the time these sensor nodes are just thrown or just deployed randomly in an area, so they might not be able to cover the entire area, or maybe there are some patches in the sensor field where there are no sensors, so it becomes very important to ensure coverage. The next is scalability, and scalability is basically whether these networks can be expanded or not, whether like certain algorithms which they use, or if they have certain transmission range, whether these sensors can be used for a large area. Next is security. Oftentimes the data which these sensors collect, they may be. And also fault tolerance, these sensors can easily get destroyed, and they are always in hostile environment, so if the sensors are destroyed, then the data that they collected also gets destroyed with it. It is very important to ensure that they are fault tolerant. Quality of service and limited energy resources, we already discussed that they have a battery, and if the battery dies out, then these sensors are useless. So it's very important that all these issues are dealt with.